Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show, me your host Sean. Well, today we're looking at Buffett's top 4 holdings and whether we should enter them or not. We can start with Coca-Cola, company I spoke about in the past. Now it has a 3.11% dividend, which you will still catch, and I'm going to give both my cases. It's one of the largest drink brands. I sold out of it. I went in when it was sub $40. I think it was $35, $36, and I sold when I made $10 a share on it. Now, Warren obviously got into it in the 80s, pre-80s. It's obviously risk-free to him now. It was obviously a great stock for him to get into, because in the 80s everything was soft drinks and Coke was everywhere. It was Coke, Pepsi wars, and they obviously Coke has won. And problem I find with it now is you have the lockdown. Coke hasn't done so well because a majority of their money comes from restaurants, which haven't done well. Whereas Pepsi has thrived because although they get a majority of their money from soft drinks, they also get a lot of money from snacks, and people have been loading up on snacks because of lockdown. Now, I went into Cola because I saw it as undervalued, which at the time it was, and it was a 4% dividend at the time. I caught the dividend and I sold for a profit. While I had it, I was doing my due diligence because as I said before, I like to do 3 different levels of due diligence. It passed the first, I bought it, and then I carried on doing my due diligence. And then I found out how long term I didn't feel comfortable holding it. It's too saturated in the drinks market. You have things such as cans are costing more because of the environmental aspect, and they sold off their canning and bottling department, so they're subject to that pricing element. There's the fact that what they did in India, where they destroyed a river, and then the government said they've got to pay the farmers they've got to help the farmers, and instead of giving them fertilizer, they gave them industrial waste. And when I was told they had to pay to revitalise the land, they just pulled the factory from India. Now, that sort of things don't sit right with me, so I pulled my investment. I could have stayed in it, made more money, but didn't like it. And and also with Coca-Cola, I think long term the cost of cans are going to go up and up because of the environmental aspect. American Express, now this is one I do like. I went in sub $90. I went in it because I heard they were teaming up with Amazon, becoming the new Amazon card, and they went to 120. They went up because they was also going to be the only US card to enter China. They had a bad quarter. I picked up more, and then I sold out because, to tell the truth, I think this is a good company, but I like MasterCard more. That's my only reason. Visa, I think, has great potential, but the problem is they manipulate their growth numbers by putting in goodwill to make it look like they're growing more. If goodwill is an outgoing, it shouldn't be on your assets. So American Express is one that I would have if it wasn't for the fact I already have financial companies on my portfolio. Now, don't forget to hit that lovely like button, and don't forget the sexy subscribe button. A lot sexier than me, just ask the wife. And if you want to be a hero, hit the bell notification. You'll be notified when a new video gets uploaded. And why not check out the links in the description below. If you're looking for a free trading platform, you get a free share worth up to £200, depending on the platform you use if you deposit a small amount. Bank of America. Now, it has a low dividend, a low PE, and I think financial institutions that are brick and mortar banks aren't going to do that well. I have listed a number of them in previous videos that I think will do well and will outperform Bank of America. I think it's more status investment, but he has a hell of a lot of exposure to this. I wouldn't be in it. I would be in more something like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. But I'm not as bright as Buffett. I wouldn't tell him what to do. But for me, it wouldn't be for me. So I'm going to go on. And we're going to go to his top one. And I spoke about this before. What I like about his investments with Apple is he's not afraid to sell them when he finds they're high. Now, he bought before and sold them when the price had doubled. And then there was the market crash again, and he bought it back again. And I thought that was amazing timing for him. Of course, he gets the dividend, he gets the splits, and Apple, I think, is a steady company, and I think it's one that everyone should have in their portfolio. Now, out of these four, Apple, obviously, and American Express, but I think people do not look at the fact that with Berkshire Hathaway as well, they say they don't pay a dividend, so they don't want to buy them. But when Berkshire Hathaway do not acquire a company, they do a stock buyback like they did earlier. So it was equivalent of a 5% dividend by taking all them shares off the market. And you get people who do not understand that. And when you have someone like Buffett at the helm managing it for free effectively, because you look at the cost of all the stocks they own, I think it's a good investment. If you're at an age where you need a steady investment that's not going to lose your money but it's going to grow, I do think that people need to start looking at Berkshire, and I do think that they need to start paying attention to it. They don't know how to evaluate it. I think that's my opinion. But my issue with Berkshire is it has too much cash on hand. Now, it was good when going into the crash. But they didn't spend it. And I think they were planning to, but the problem was the Fed went and bailed everyone out, so no one needed them. It was when they went into correction territory, I think then they should have pounced on a few companies. They did go into a couple of companies, but I think they should have spent some of that money, because that money is losing. It's losing every day, losing its usefulness.